Welcome to FSI, the podcast. Today we are doing a bonus episode that I'm excited to bring you. We are meeting with Courtney Gould-Miller, and she is the Chief Growth Officer at Homesteaders Life Company, and she will be one of the session speakers at the upcoming Momentum Women's Leadership Accelerator event that is being hosted in partnership with Kates-Boylston and Homesteaders Life. Welcome, Courtney.
Thank you. So happy to be here.
Tell us a little bit about how things have been going. We saw that you joined Homesteaders in January. So how have things been?
Busy, exciting. I moved to Des Moines, but started at Homesteaders in January, and the team here is just so fantastic. I mean, many people I've known for more than 10 years, but so it feels a little bit like home from that standpoint, but just fascinating work. Enjoy the clients, enjoy the profession so much, of course, and continuing the work of digital modernization, technology, marketing here at Homesteaders. It's really been a dream.
That's fantastic to hear because I've seen a lot of good things coming out periodically from Homesteaders, and I believe it was also voted one of the best places to work again. Is that correct?
Yes, and it truly is. I mean, the culture here is what I love so much. People really support each other, live the values. One of the values of Homesteaders is be humble. Another is care. And you see both of those things all the time from this team.
That sounds ideal.
Yeah, it is.
So tell me what led to the idea of Momentum, where that came from.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Danielle Burmeister came up with this idea before I ever joined Homesteaders, and I love it so much as a women's accelerator. I think the profession needs that. We see more and more women stepping into leadership, and that's true on the operations side, on pre-need, with vendor partners. So this is really for everyone in the profession to think about how can they expand their reach, expand their leadership potential and the impact that they have in our profession at large. And so I'm thrilled to be a speaker here at Momentum and bringing my expertise to the group and looking forward to learning from others as well.
Now, I noticed too that it boasting a mini MBA in a day. So it looks like it's going to be compressed, but you're going to leave with a lot of good new tools for your toolbox.
Yes.
And it also looks like it differs a little from some of the other offerings. I had a really good conversation actually with Danielle about that, because one of the questions I posed to her was, how is this different? And some events focus more on connection and kind of emotional work. And then with this one, it focuses a bit more on maybe the professional scope of skill set. She made a really good point in saying that they're not competing, that they're apples and oranges, and that it varies depending on where you are in your career and personally in terms of what you need at that time. And I thought that was really insightful of her to say that, because I feel like with the increase in events targeting women, you have to kind of pick and choose. And sometimes it's hard to figure out, okay, which ones are worth going to for me. And what I like about this one is that it's got stuff that you're going to be able to take back with you, and it seems like put into use like right away.
Absolutely. And that's how I'm focusing my session, is specifically something you can take that day and go implement. And so it's all about how to build a business case. So I'll be ending our session, and I think that's a perfect place for the session actually, because you're going to be getting so many different ideas from all of the speakers. And how do you bring that back and create change? Whether you're an owner, whether you're a manager or an employee who's stepping into people leadership or more opportunity to lead initiatives, you have to be able to take whatever idea that you have and make it quantifiable from a return on investment. And that's exactly what I'm going to walk the attendees through. How do you take any idea, whether it's we really have to replace the carpet in this location, or I think we should go into this new market, or I think we should invest in digital for our pre-need program. You can take any example of all of the things and ideas that people will bring at the session. You have to go back to someone, Maybe it's a bank because you need some capital. Maybe it's your owner if you're a manager or an employee inside of the business. And you need to be able to say, here's why we need to do this. This is what I expect to get out of it. And this is the investment that's required, but we're going to see this return on that if we take these steps. That kind of planning is so necessary at any stage of your career as a leader. And I so often see leaders of both men and women who don't take the time to go through that. And it's a very quick analysis. It's not a huge effort that takes days and weeks. It's really something where you just get in the pattern of thinking about how to quantify that, how to make it clear. I encourage people to make it 1 or 2 pages, not too long, because if it's too large, your stakeholder may never read it, right? Because their time is precious as well. So thinking about how to take your idea, digest it down, and make it clear that there's going to be a great return on this investment. And that's how you are able to gain traction in your efforts going forward. So we're going to be breaking that down and going through exactly how to do that process. And that is absolutely part of a mini MBA. And I'm excited to help our session attendees learn to think this way or even refine their thinking this way.
Now, that sounds like gold because it's sometimes you have these ideas, right? And it's easy to spot opportunity when it comes to like, oh, this is old, we need to replace it. Or, what if we invest in this over here? But to not complete the thought, right? To just run in with enthusiasm and say, hey, I think we should do this. And then when you start getting the questions about it, well, how much is it going to cost us? What is the long-term benefit of it? What is the risk associated? Then you're just kind of like, ooh, so you've got to be able to bring that whole, like basically that whole full circle approach with your idea. So it's like a complete package of thought. And I think too, we don't recognize that data you can't argue with data, right? And we can think and assume all day long. And as humans, we're really great at that. But with data and with numbers and with actual analysis, you can come away with so much truth to something. And sometimes you realize maybe that wasn't a good investment and you chunk it before you even present it. So I think I'm really excited about your session. I mean, again, I'm excited about all of them, but I like to nerd out a little bit. And this seems like one of those opportunities where you'll be providing some guidance on how to nerd out.
Yes, that's true. And, as leaders, I often see that, especially women, they will get excited about ideas. They will want to make change and they'll come forward with that idea and present it and then be deflated when it's not approved. And, not that every idea we bring forward will be approved, but if you go through the process of creating a business case, it is much more likely, just as you said, you can't argue with the data. If you have taken the time to fill in all of those steps and make it clear to anybody who's maybe coming to this issue fresh, we sometimes don't understand how much is in our heads that we're not actually explaining in a presentation. And this business case format will allow you to take all of those details out, put them on paper. And as you said, sometimes you realize, actually, this maybe isn't the right idea, or I need to refine it a bit more to make it have the return that I really see and feel to be a reality. And so it's a great test for yourself. And then it's a great way to explain it to someone else. And you can have that confidence when you're explaining it that this is really something we should do because all of the numbers play out.
And it contributes to your communication skills, right? So not only are you gathering, organizing, but now you're going to turn around and be able to explain it and offer the right basic approach so that it is well understood because sometimes you're in a room with people with different levels of understanding of what it is you're talking about too, because the person that manages the finances may have less to do with the actual operation side that you're maybe seeking to improve, right? So you've got to be able to make everybody in their specific little roles come together and all see it in the same way. So I think that's really an important point as well.
Yes. And as leaders, unless you've come up through a finance track, so many operational or sales leaders are a little afraid of thinking about it quantitatively this way. And yet, once you see that it's actually not so intimidating and embrace it, you're able to bridge the gaps across those folks who are in the important role of finance. And that may be your accountant, right? It may not be a function inside of your company. It may be, like I said, the bank or a capital partner, but we need them on board, and you have to learn and kind of stretch yourself into speaking that language. And so that's what I'm looking to empower the attendees to do, because it's a really important skill, and it is something that every leader has to master to be able to continue to progress.
Excellent. And then the night prior to, because I know the event is September 23rd and 24th, it is in Celebration, Florida. And there will be time for some networking and visiting with each other on the night of the 23rd. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. I think we're doing a wine tasting, which will be fun.
Nice. So you've got the nice sprinkling in there of the networking connecting piece, but then we're going to get in class basically the next day and put in some like actual work and thinking. And I think that'll be very exciting. So Courtney's session is called Measuring Success, How You Can Demonstrate ROI on Investments for the Future. And you said you're presenting last, so you're going to be the last one we hear on the 24th?
Yes. Wrap it up.
Yes, we'll have the registration link in our show notes, as well as information about the event in general. And again, this is called Momentum. It is a women's leadership accelerator. I want to thank Courtney for sharing a bit about her session, about how things have been going at Homesteaders. And I look forward to hearing more from her in the near future.
Thank you so much. I can't wait to see everyone there.
All right, this is a Kates-Boylston production, and you can see more information within the show notes.